Before we get started, I'd like to introduce Sierra Duda, who is currently finishing her senior year at Oxford High School. Sierra will be singing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you so much, Sierra. Your voice is beautiful. Thank you for sharing with us. Another Wildcat to be proud of. At this time, I would like to take a moment of silence and reflection. It is heartbreaking to announce we've lost 3 of our Oxford Wildcats this year. Hannah Ferguson, LaFrance Marshall, and Andrea Sonia. God bless them and watch over their families. Parents, families, and friends, welcome to the 2018 Oxford Bridges High School graduation. Today I'm thankful to be part of this awesome event. I want to thank all of you for the time I was able to spend getting to know your student. I would also like to acknowledge and thank the Board of Education and the Office of the Superintendent for joining us this evening. Thank you for your continued support as we go and develop this school into what an alternative high school should be. One that not only assists students to be successful towards high school graduation, but one that helps motivate and focus them to become their best selves for their future. Most importantly, Oxford Bridges High School would not be what it is without our dedicated staff. Please join me in thanking Nick Kost, Diana Eldridge, Nikki Flores, Mallory Malloy, Whitney Stern, and Michelle Times for their ongoing love, support, and guidance that they provide daily. Your patience, skills, and innovative curriculum is superior. Alternative high schools have lost, or maybe have never had, the definition that we have set. Simply put, we are an alternative to the traditional, You
got it, vandalism.
I got this. To the traditional high school,
There you go.
allowing students who cannot succeed in a large high school environment, giving them security, compassion, and acceptance, so they are able to focus on their academics and become successful. I'm nervous. I thought a lot about what I should talk about today. I have no set story or message that I give each year. It's with each group of seniors that I decide what I want to say. And I'm not sure why, but as I thought about tonight, I kept coming back to roller coasters. Yes, roller coasters. The anticipation as you're clinking to the top, the screaming as you fly down and around, your stomach and your throat. Oh, that was me. No, wait, I'm kidding, it wasn't me. No, it really was me. So what do roller coasters have to do with anything? It's a lot like life. Let's take high school, for example. These last 2, 3, and 4 years have been, well, a challenge for all of you. The anticipation of graduation, screaming as you fly down and around, your stomach in your throat. And then like that, here you are. You've made it. As difficult as it was, you are here. And now it's up to you to focus yourselves on where you want to go and make a plan to get there. The ride is not stopped. You're just on that slow, straight part of the track, moving though in a forward direction. It is at this point that your life begins to change and take shape. You are our future. Our lawyers, our chefs, our photographers, artists, the ones who can fix cars, the ones who can install heating and cooling, our law enforcement, our counselors, computer professionals, and park rangers. And some of you have yet to choose. High school does not define who you are. You make that definition. It is your choice. Make sure that you are the best you. At some point, you'll begin to climb again, upward on that roller coaster. The anticipation of a new job, a new school, a promotion, it can be very anxiety-provoking and scary. However, it's normal. Every one of us have those days, those feelings. We've all been nervous. We've all been apprehensive. Well, look at me, I'm kind of nervous. The important thing is not to let your fears get in the way of your future or your plans or your success. Tonight is a celebration of one of the biggest steps in your life, and all of us are here to support you. There are so many feelings that go along with this day: joy, relief, sadness, and some fear, because now you have to walk that walk. The beauty is, graduates, you have the ability to make whatever you want. Do not waste your time living someone else's life. Do not regret, because you can't change what's happened already. Today is the end of a long traveled road, and tomorrow is the beginning of a new adventure. I'm proud of each and every one of you, and it has been an honor to be your principal. At this time, I'd like to present our guest speaker, Mr. Spencer. He has been a supporting member of Oxford Bridges High School team for the last 4 years. He has never been too busy to encourage, advocate, and provide us with the assistance that we need to move forward.
I've got to follow that. So I want to start by, of course, thanking the board and our school administrators, but really I'd like to thank Aletha, the wonderful educators and staff at Oxford Bridges High School for allowing me the opportunity to speak to this fantastic group of human beings. It truly is an honor, and it's my pleasure. I've worked with this team for the past 4 years, and over this time I've witnessed their growth, their dedication to their students, their teamwork, their inclusiveness, their dedication to the vision that they've had, and their camaraderie. And I think this team deserves another upstanding, roaring round of applause from the audience. Enough about them. So this is my second time addressing graduates of Oxford Bridges High School, and the duty of providing advice to a group of high school graduates, and harder still, the job of reassuring you about the future, it doesn't get any easier with time or practice. So what I've learned over time by doing commencement speaking is that it's really an occasion that I get to pretend that I know more than I actually do. Specifically, how in the world is it that I could have been the one who actually been invited to be a commencement speaker? If you actually go back and ask any of my friends or classmates from high school, they'd tell you that I'd be a serious contender for the prize of most unlikely to be asked to ever be invited to give a commencement address. But here I am. So I'd like to take a moment and consider what commencement actually means. The word reflects the meaning of the French word commencer, derived from the Latin word inceptio, or a beginning. And that is precisely what this is. High school graduation doesn't mark the end of learning. It marks the beginning of a new chapter in your journey in life. And that's exciting and terrifying at the same time. So let me start by telling you something that you already know. The world outside of high school isn't all sunshine and rainbows. You're not going to leave this auditorium and your wildest dreams fall at your feet. It's likely that you won't have a support system as a base that was built to help you push to success, as Bridges High School was. So our world can be a cruel and unforgiving place, and it doesn't matter how tough you are, right? It can beat you down to your knees, and it can keep you there permanently. That is, if you let it. Not you, not me, not anybody can bear down and strike as hard as life. However, I want you to keep in mind that it isn't how hard you strike back. That's not what it's about. It's about how hard you can get struck and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving toward a goal. It's about perseverance in the face of challenge, about tenacity when obstacles pose a seemingly insurmountable barrier to success. So let's talk about those challenges and obstacles for a minute. These are going to be different for everybody, and they can relate to anything. Relate to a job, college, family, friends, your past. And truthfully, obstacles are an essential hurdle as we make our march towards success. Any path that we take that doesn't have any obstacles likely won't lead you anywhere. It's how we deal with obstacles that in the end enables us to find success. When choosing a path forward and the inevitable obstacles arise, will you tackle it and move forward? Or will you allow it to stop you in your tracks, detracting you from making progress towards your goals? So, here's some advice from someone who's learned through years of struggling to advance towards success, who for a time allowed personal obstacles to pin him down, push him around, and derail hopes and dreams. And to clarify why I'm up here and qualified to give this advice, I'm going to come out, I struggled as a young adult to make sense of myself. I struggled to make sense of the world. I was a high school dropout. I was homeless for a while. And honestly, I lost complete faith in humanity. It wasn't until that I began to tackle the obstacles in my path that I was able to define and envision what success means to me to commence on my journey. I remember sitting down on a park bench one day, enjoying the shade from the summer sun and listening to Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven on a cassette tape with my Walkman. I date myself. And I remember there was the lyric to the song. It says, "There's still time to change the road you're on." You guys know that one? Yeah, so epiphany, right then. I had this moment of realization that I'm not destined for anything. I had a choice and the freedom to pursue possibility. Well, there was no doubt, a great deal of uncertainty in how I could accomplish anything from the circumstances that I found myself in. I began to recognize that it was me who held the power to change my situation. So now my advice. Number one, realize that you are the biggest obstacle that you will have to face. It is only you who can make the decisions required to overcome adversity. If you do not have a belief in your ability to succeed, you never will. Period. Number two, many obstacles you do not have to face alone. Some obstacles are difficult to confront, so seek out the resources that will help you overcome the challenges. This includes determining what resources are needed, like knowledge or strategies. Find the people who are the best to offer guidance and assistance. Evaluate your situation by gaining a multidimensional perspective of the task in front of you. This also may mean that you have to distance yourself from drama that can hinder your progress. And you've got to determine for yourself what drama means. But in my experience, it's generally people who will inadvertently pull you into situations that hold you back from growth. Number three, be unrelenting and committed to overcoming obstacles. Every time you work to overcome an obstacle, there's going to be setbacks. You're going to need to develop a growth mindset, allowing you to aspire to continuous self-improvement. Number four, there's no better education than adversity. That's right, graduates. Learning doesn't end after graduation. You must learn throughout your journey. Every success and failure that you will endure is a opportunity, that is, a problem to overcome and an opportunity to grow. If you do not learn through your journey, you will not find success. Period. And finally, don't ever let anybody tell you you can't do something if you have a dream, a goal, or a lofty plan. You have to protect it. If you want something, go get it. Period. So, I use this advice daily. I recognize that when I'm a hindrance, I recognize when I'm a hindrance to my own progress. I rely on the strengths and talents of others to enable forward motion. I'm passionate about my convictions and only back down when I learn better. And I have gone after every goal that I've set for myself. So, I've spent all this time talking about tackling obstacles that you'll certainly come across. But now we have to discuss the why behind tackling obstacles, and that's success. So the question we have to ask ourselves, though, is what is success? And it'd be really unfortunate if you let other people define success for you. So, what is success? Is it to leave school and make lots of money? You can start there. Is it to have a healthy family? To have a strong happy marriage? To help others? Is it to be spiritually sound? Or is it to leave the world a better place than you found it? And as you learn and grow throughout your journey, you have to continually ask yourself that question. Is this what I consider success? So your answer is going to change over time, and that's fine. But do yourself this favor. Whatever your answer is, don't choose anything that's going to jeopardize your humanity. Know who you are. Set priorities for who you want to become, and then release and bypass the things and people that can decay your integrity. So that's my advice, based on my experience. Now I've got to tell you what I consider success and what my hopes are for each of you. For me, success is defined as service to my community and service to my planet that makes us stronger and makes living more joyful. I would not be standing here today if it were not for the service of others or for the purpose that service has given me in my own life. When I reflect back on piece of advice number 2 about resources, it was the people that I chose to look to for guidance and leadership that propelled me forward. I noticed how fulfilled the people who gave were. And I wanted not only that feeling that I sensed in them, but I wanted to know that who I am and what I do had a positive effect on those around me. I found that there was no better way to grow as an individual than to relate with others' struggles and needs. And through my actions, volunteerism, and activism, and community involvement, I learned that I wasn't just helping people, I was receiving something in return. Through service, I found community that embraced me, citizenship that was meaningful, and the direction that I've been seeking for a long time. As it turns out, the best way to find out who you are is by working to help others. So, this is my request. This is what I ask of you, 2018 graduates. No matter what you decide to do for a living, no matter where you end up geographically, invest yourself in your community. In a world where everything takes time and requires effort that may compete with the other things that you want, I challenge you to carve out the time and muster up the fortitude to give back to your community. We need your membership in our communities, especially as the times we live in are challenging, indeed. You need to understand that you hold power and voice, power in holding those who shake a fist and wield the hammer of progress accountable, power to give, power to love, and the power to spread joy. Dr. Seuss said it best. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. It's one of my favorite practices. So, I'm going to leave you with a parable. It's called, a fable. It's called The Elephant and the Ropes. So as a man was passing by a group of elephants, he suddenly stopped, confused by the fact that these huge and powerful creatures were being held by only a small rope tied to their front legs. No chains, no cages. It was obvious that the elephants could at any time break away from their bonds, but for some reason, they didn't. He saw a trainer nearby and asked why these animals just stood there and made no attempt to get away. Well, the trainer said, when they are very young and much smaller, we use the same ropes to tie them, and at that age, it's enough to hold them. As they grow up, they are conditioned to believe that they can't break away. They believe the rope can still hold them, so they never try to break free. The man was amazed. These animals could at any time break free from their bonds, but because they believed they couldn't, they were stuck right where they were. Like the elephants, how many of us go through life hanging on to a belief that we can't do something simply because we failed at it once before? Moral of the story, every parable has a moral. Failure is a part of learning. We should never give up the struggle in life. You fail not because you're destined to fail, but because there are lessons in which you need to learn as you move on with your life. Congratulations, class of 2018. Thank you and good luck.
I'd like to now introduce one of our alumni, Erica Gills. Erica graduated last year, and she's currently working and attending cosmetology classes. Erica, thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule to join us today. I appreciate that without hesitation, you said yes.
I can almost see it, that dream I'm dreaming, but there's a voice inside my head saying, you'll never reach it. Every step I'm taking, every move I make feels
Jaden and Preston if you join us on stage. Jaden will be going first. Jaden, I know you're so happy to be done with this, and I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm glad to have the opportunity of knowing you, and the next part of your education I will guarantee will be less stressful. It'll focus on the future and what you're interested in doing. It will give you the technical information you need to be successful. And if I ever need heating and cooling, I have your phone number. I do got your phone number.
Hello, my name is Jaden Kozlon. I came to Bridges my sophomore year, failing most of my classes at the high school year. I'll never forget the first meeting I had with Ms. B. Let me tell you, I was a pain. I did not like any part of the school at all, but I'm truly thankful that I decided to give it a chance. I probably would have dropped out of high school if it weren't for coming to Bridges. Coming to Bridges has taught me to be able, that we are all able to learn. We just have different styles and ways of learning. I would like to thank Miss B, Miss Stern, Miss Malloy, Mr. Cost, Miss Flores, Miss Times, my mother, uncles, family members, and all of my friends that pushed me to get through the end. And I'd like to give thanks to my girlfriend Laura for physically pushing me out of bed in the morning. Thank you for coming out to support and celebrate our accomplishments. Congrats to the class of 2018.
Thank you. Preston, in 1 year you have been with us, you have made an impact. Your humor and laughter make each day a bit brighter. I wish you all the best. You will love college and focusing on your field. And you know cake always makes a day better. So don't forget about us.
Hello. My name is Preston Gidding, and I was a senior at Oxford Bridges this year. And due to a clerical error, I'm graduating. When I first came to this high school, this one, I thought I would be able to turn over a new leaf because it was a different school, and now that we were in high school, we were inherently more mature and could handle the extra workload that came along with it. I was right for about 3 weeks. Then it was back to the same trench that I had dug myself into in middle school, of which I was completely unable to get out of for the next 3 years, all of which I went through absolutely miserably, just assuming that this is what high school is supposed to be. However, throughout my junior year, I was relayed hundreds of fun and exciting stories of the seemingly mystical place right across the way called Bridges by my older brother, Jackson, who graduated last year. So naturally, my first inclination was that he was over-exaggerating. However, as time went by, the stories only got more and more grandiose, and I was convinced I had to go to Bridges if I had any chance of graduating. And so summer came and went, and suddenly I was in front of the entrance of Bridges, staying beside my brother, terrified that I would be socially ostracized for going to Bridges. But luckily, when I stepped inside, the school was completely different than my preconceived notions. Instead of being a big room full of troubled youth and overworked teachers, I found was old friends and a more than caring staff. And that was the beginning of the best school year of my life, and hundreds of experiences for which I wouldn't have traded the world. For example, Ronnie's stupid frog, who never even told us whose chair it really was. That chair sure wasn't his problem. Or the Trailer Park Boy costumes. Or this. Got y'all. Don't even play. Or the countless of other examples of random crap that we did all year that made this school year so special. Now for special shout-outs to all the teachers. To Malloy for making me question my preconceived notions. To Stern for being one of the most compassionate human beings I've ever met. No matter how much we annoyed her with our antics and memes. To Mr. Koss for being one of the smartest individuals I've ever met and helping me understand complicated problems that other teachers were not able to. To Time for being the sexiest human being I've ever met and holding my butt to the flames. For the love of God, never change. To Flores for always being there for any of us whenever we needed literally anything. You are appreciated. To Van Luzern for being the most pleasant principal this side of the Mississippi. And the second biggest shout out to my graduating class that held in there for 12 years, which is 10 more than I thought I'd be able to. And then the biggest shout out to my mother. She has helped me become the person I am today, raising me as a single mother, me and my other 2 siblings. Without her, absolutely none of this would be possible, and I would not be the person standing here before you. And to end my speech, I would like to leave you with this poem. Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman to Paperboy, the evening TV. How did I get delivered here? Somebody tell me, please. This old world's confusing me. Clouds as mean as you've ever seen, and a bird who knows your tune. Then a little voice whispers inside you, kid, don't sell yourself so soon. There's a heart, everywhere you look, everywhere you go, there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, everywhere you go, there's a face of somebody who needs you. Everywhere you look. When you're lost out there and you're all alone, a light is waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look. Thank you, and congratulations to all of the class of 2018. We did it.
All right, graduates. Are you ready to join us on stage? So you'd like me to talk a little more? I mean, I've got some pages. Join us on stage. It's now time to present you with your diplomas.
Preston Matthew Beating.
Ronald Dale Comments.
Chandler Scott Duffy.
Lindsay Grace Emerson.
Megan Marie Emerson.
Brendan Jacob Floyd.
Brittany Foster. Foster.
That's my girlfriend. Hey, I remember that one.
Tiffany Robin Goodman.
Alfredo Hernandez.
Get that news out, buddy.
Caitlin Patricia Kelcher.
Jaden Keith Coolthong.
Dayton Michael Long.
Merritt Marshall McGee. That's our baby!
Sarah Lynn Myers.
Nicholas Alexander Parcells.
Yeah, Parsons.
Devin Michael Reed.
Wendy Jocelyn Reyes Romero.
Kyle James Stewart.
Joseph Michael Weber. Well, graduates, here you are, the moment you've been waiting for. But I have to say some more things. Today is a wonderful day. Today is a wonderful day, but we will miss you terribly. We love each and every one of you. The beauty of our high school is that we have the opportunity to get to know you all. We learn together, laugh together, and even cry together. We are more than a school, we are a community, a family of sorts. We've been able to build supportive relationships with one another. Please know that just because you have graduated, we are still here to help and support you when you need it. You have seen students return with help with papers, for language arts or their English classes, with math, or just to come visit. You have seen by example that you are welcome always. I would like to leave you with some thoughts. Make sure you respect everyone. Be true to who you are. If someone is disrespectful, you never need to lower yourself to them. Rise above. No matter what position you attain in life, you are still a member of the human race. Please act like it. It takes all of us, the superintendent, the teachers, the custodians, the food service, the transportation, the lunch staff, to make a school work. Life is like that. It takes all of us. Respect. Money and possessions are just that. You will never be able to replace those relationships that you have built. And love. Be sure you treat it like that. They're priceless. Integrity. It's the art of always doing the right thing, not only when no one's looking, but when they are as well. And it's hard, doing the right thing in the face of adversity. But when you look in the mirror at night, you will be proud of who you are. Never judge until you've walked a mile in someone's shoes. If you don't understand their plight, then go walk a mile in their shoes. Never feel you have to prove your worth to anyone. Aw, hi. But yourself. Never feel you have to prove your worth to anyone but yourself. Be proud of you, and when you're not, figure out why and make the changes that you need. Sometimes it's very hard to ask for help, but do so when it's needed. You will rise and you will fall in this life. Your strength is born during the fails. It's easy to be great when all is going the right way, but only the brave-hearted get back up, stay determined, and stay in the game, or go play a whole new game. Don't compare yourself to others. This is a hard one. The thing is, when we compare ourselves to others, more often than not, we are comparing our weaknesses to their strengths. Remember that. Just because you have different strengths does not mean that you're less than. It is okay to say, I don't know, without feeling stupid or inadequate. I'm not sure why this happens, that we get into the position that not knowing something somehow makes us feel foolish. No one has all the answers. And as I said earlier, don't regret. Make good choices, apologize when you're wrong, you're misunderstood, or you've hurt someone. You will make mistakes. Do not let them take over your life. Mistakes do not define you. But how you deal with these mistakes is what makes you stronger. Your action shows others what kind of person you are. And lastly, graduates, be good to yourselves. Be kind and generous to others. And lastly, also, is you know where to find us. Now, graduates, if you could please stand. Turn to your left. Put your hand on your tassels. Move it from the right to the left.